sore joints or dry skin? Try All Balm. Our CBD topicals are fast absorbing, non-greasy, and smell amazing. Now available at TPUE Wines in South Euclid. Sip, shop, and feel better naturally.
You know? So I'll handle loadout. Just tell them to bin it, put it in bins so I can take it away. At some point, I think I did see Zane leave for a bit, go to the bathroom. I think he's fine because we have Moses too.
Yeah, I told him take turns, just food back there at least.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think it's hard work. It also should be fun, but remind them guys, I'm putting you in a position to lead. It's been a week on customer service. People are complaining about their orders. You're not handling things. Why am I finding emails and messages from June and July? It's August. And the Danielle one was the example. So I yelled at him. I was like, this. Hello. Right?
Gotcha.
For me, it's I might put on this event, give back. My hopes is that you stay.
Has some different type of contract. Has some different type of contract.
It's all the shit you don't want to do. Once you know it, it's over.
See, it is
it's like filing your taxes, which is okay. Well, that's my client, so collaboration right here, right? So send me a note.
And then I know Steve Harvey don't want to come back to Cleveland, but
he come back, he represent Cleveland. He cut Stephen A out on TV.
I would like, because of his attire and his suits, I think he would be a great
ambassador.
Partner or ambassador to help us grow this, because we give out ties, but I would like to give out shirts. We're giving you a tie, why can't we give you a collar shirt to wear with that? And so I think that it would be another form of a duo with him being from Cleveland and then us being here. I think it would be powerful for him to stand next to us in his work. So those are my things.
I know for me, I'm a podcast connoisseur, right? I watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, all I do is podcasts all day, right? For me, I would love to learn from the Giants, the Ernie Leisures. 2 years ago, what, a year ago? Yeah, David.
Cozy mood. Shea butter and warm sugar is where it's at. Or maybe you're more in a champagne spritz and roses type mood. Whatever the mood, set it with one of these Febreze Air Mist fragrances today.
That artists and creatives need to know about law, and that's gonna be a really fun one. So I encourage all of you to consider coming. That's when is that one? September 4th. That's a Thursday. So all about trademarks.
Protect yourself.
You can mail yourself.
And I believe they're also going to help contribute and provide resources and legal advice to you guys on the fly. So great opportunity for you to at least be exposed to, lawyers in the room. They're on your side this time.
I don't have much to add. That's awful that you had to go through all that. I've had, partnerships or collabs that went south. One in particular that was upsetting was feeling used by a collaborator, where ideas were used in proposals, but there was no attribution or any or acknowledgement. And I wish I had like a good answer. I just had to let it go, you know. And sometimes it's just, but I could go on. But those are just a few initial thoughts. Thank you for the question.
Let me jump in on this. Someone who's also moved away, I still rep Cleveland. I hung out at St. Felix in Hollywood, which was a Cleveland bar. All my roommates were Cleveland. All I wore was Cleveland stuff. And that is something that's also kind of important, is even though they have to leave for certain circumstances, whether it's a job, a significant other, maybe family members also move away, right? It doesn't mean you give up on Cleveland. What we have to hope is they do really well out there, they carry the torch for us, and they eventually come back home. I feel like for me, much similar to the analogy of, LA taught me to fly, but Cleveland gave me my roots. Another really great analogy is I think that because I've traveled the world, I've lived in other places, I see in color. Because when you live in Cleveland for too long, you begin to see in black and white. So now when I'm back home, I want a restaurant that feels like I'm in LA. I want a brand that looks like it's from New York. I want to expose our city to the things I've seen and experienced, because that is how we win, So to some degree, while I do want everyone to just come back home and start building, I understand that they're all on their own journey and they have to expose themselves to bring their talents back home. Right? Anyone else?
Any other questions?
You got it, or?
I'm Corey. I'm a tattoo artist and a painter over at Greenlight Tattoos. As a creator, it can be very daunting and draining trying to be there for people. So I guess my question is, what do you do to stay motivated, or what's some advice you could give, like, to kind of prepare you for those blindsided moments? Like, I know, like, something I've personally learned a lot about is like the legalities of everything, especially like as a tattoo artist. It's really easy to treat it like a hobby. So I've had to take that step back to like, okay, trademarks, LLCs, getting that stuff in order to protect myself. But then, like I said, as a content creator, like showing up every day, like keeping it a buck, like it's not always easy. So, like I said, what would y'all say is helps y'all keep going even in those times where people may seem like ungrateful, or like you feel like your idea is good but may not be received the way you want to, or you put your idea out there and it's not received? Like, how do you stop that from making you want to pull back from your craft and like want to go harder on the next project and things of that nature?
I can take this one. We're episode 294.
Nice.
I say that, thank you.
That's big.
I say that because I've been there. I've been there going to location, going to this event. And then I'll be like in the day, like, I'm tired, or I don't feel like doing it anymore. But then I'll see Juwan, or I'll see a past guest, and they'll tell me, man, thank you so much for having me on the show. Since then, this has happened. Or I'll talk to somebody, I haven't watched the episode. Ashley's right here. Yeah, Ashley be on the fire. Every time she asks, Ashley's like, Brad, this, that. And she watched it. And she tells me, Brad, I've seen it. And she'll
What it is, you see a lot of the same artists over and over again. So what I think is we need to embrace competition to keep people here, So it's...
One more. 3, 2, 1. All right, perfect. Thank you,
So I got all the stuff here in my brain.
Eastern Financial Partners. Shoot yourself. I did do a commercial. It was a little cringy. I hope they cut it in a way that is not what it is.
Those
heard it every single time.
I thought it was just here, and I went
It's everywhere.
down to Baltimore, and I heard it in Baltimore and Virginia. It's always on.
It's on. I just don't know.
Let me pull on my Spotify now. So many songs. I don't even know the name of it. I might have to sing it. I don't know.
It's like a library in here. All right, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. It's an effort to come out to learn and network. So kudos to you guys. We're here with For Art's Sake, one of the second workshops, actually. We did one last week. We did not have mics. It wasn't easy, so I'm glad to have mics today. Today's topic, if you didn't see it on the Eventbrite, is about community collaboration and partnership. I brought some friends along with me. It's not just about what I'm doing and what I've accomplished the last 20 years, but I wanted to at least get viewpoints from different businesses, different people, different walks of life. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, evening everybody. My name is Brandon Gates. I am the executive producer and 1/3 host of the Public Experience. As of right now, we're at 21,000 subscribers, 8 million views, and we pride ourselves on making sure that we tell the stories of creatives, entrepreneurs, change makers here in the city of Cleveland.
Hello, I am Juwan Smith. I am the founding CEO of 1000 Ties, and I am also an award-winning author of 9 children's books here. I'm local from Cleveland.
Hey everybody, my name is Deidre McPherson. I'm the Chief Community Officer at Assembly for the Arts. We're a nonprofit organization in the region that serves the creative sector. We help with policy, advocacy, and equity to help Cleveland be a great city of the arts and a great city of equity.
Awesome, thank you guys. My 20-year journey of entrepreneurship, creative, and design, I had the chance to move from Cleveland and live in LA for about 6 years. And I tell this story a lot, that what I learned. That's important to be able to share those kind of stories. When I lived in LA, I learned the gift on how to fly. That was the concept. The idea is that you can meet a lot of people, you can try new things, and really spread your wings and experience things. But when it came back to coming back home, here I am, I realized I know how to fly, but I now have my roots. I'm grounded. I've learned so much more being home that we have to support each other, right? You can fly, but you also need your roots. And that's really important. When it comes to being a creative, a builder, an entrepreneur, or anyone, you want to build a community. You want to tie your roots to others. That's sometimes more important. So for all of you, travel, learn, fly, but at the same time, come back home to where you started and build it back better, right? So I'm really grateful that I've kind of picked up both. So maybe I'm now a tree instead of a bird, right? I can swing in the sky just like Sora, right? But at the same time, got my roots. So with that being said, I'd like to start with the first question for all of you guys. When it comes to building community, what does community mean to you as a creator, and how has it shaped your journey?
I will say this, being from Cleveland, I know when we first started the podcast, Cleveland's not known for its community. If anything, it was known for the opposite of that. I know when we first started, we said we wanted to create a system or a place where people can feel welcome, creators can feel welcome, entrepreneurs, whether you've been an entrepreneur for 5 minutes or 5 years, you can tell your story and inspire the next person. So I think for us, creating that community and that space where people can be their genuine selves, express their trial tribulation, and the next person can hear that, see that, and be like, man, now I know I can go further, I can do this and do that. To me, that's something that we pride ourselves on, creating that community for entrepreneurs across the city and beyond.
Well, in my space, I'm more in the philanthropic space, and that community is all about everybody bringing their expertise to the table and putting everything together to make something amazing to empower our youth and our families in the city. So that is, what I strive for, trying to get away from that crab in the bucket thing that people say, especially for Cleveland. It's really, we're kind of known for that. So I'm really big on allowing people to bring their expertise to the table so that we can work together for the bigger goal.
So community, what is community to me? It's a lot of things. It's that chosen family, those people that are part of your inner circle, that are cheering you on, that are holding you accountable to doing the things that you said you aspire to do. It's those people that are checking in on you. They're sending you that text message. It's how did that presentation go? How is this initiative going? It's the folks that really show up for you, that feel like I said, like a chosen family. Sometimes those are friends, sometimes those are colleagues and acquaintances, but those are the folks that I like to hold close. Also, spaces like this are really important. All of you are part of a broad, vast, and incredibly talented creative community, and we're all here for the same reason, to connect with one another, to learn from one another, to inspire one another. And so, this may not be like a very intimate circle, but it is an intimate community in that we all have a shared belief and a passion for creativity.
I love that chosen family. That's something we got to remember. It's funny when you think about chosen family. In some ways, I can relate to this. We are all on the same sports team, right? We love our sports team, but we here are a sports team. We're Cleveland, right? We got to root for each other. We want to see everybody win. And talking about collaboration versus competition, it's kind of a good topic or segue. When it comes to Kanye, right? Like, I feel like to some degree he made collabs cool, right? Between Adidas and Yeezy, and that was the early days of streetwear and how collabs actually happen. And here we are. We know collabs are important, right? Collaboration in the form, but really, with that shift from going from collaboration to competition, what industries where resources feel limited, how can creators shift from that competition mindset, do you guys think? Any thoughts there?
I would say from my experience when I first started out, all from God.
That's kind of their tagline. So a lot of businesses.
A little scary.
Oh, that's what they say. So that's what will get you on TV. Or if you have something that warms people's heart. And so I try to use that when it comes to my collaboration and my partnerships, my storytelling ability, because a lot of people, they know their business, but do they actually know how to?
That's all I ask, and I will continue to give back. It's not like I'm trying to
We can all eat. Okay, there's just plenty of food and opportunities, and where there aren't opportunities, how can you create those opportunities and pursue them by any means necessary? And so I think that.
You guys remember as kids when your parents would tell you share your toys, right? We all remember that. That's collaboration, right? It starts at an early age. You just got to remember and not be selfish, right? There's plenty of toys to go around. There's plenty of times to, be nice in the sandbox. They might take them, but that's actually another point, and I've said this before at some previous talks. Those who give sleep better. Those who take eat better. What side do you want to be on, right? I'd rather sleep. I don't need a full stomach. I want to help other people, Those who give, I think I might have already forgotten it. Those who give sleep better. Those who take eat better. I didn't make this up. It's some proverb from Rumi or something.
It makes sense.
But it makes sense.
They get fired.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be selfish, right? Especially with our small town. You got to give as much as you can before you take. A lot of people come to me with the work that I've done between the Cavs, the Browns, Machine Gun Kelly. We just completed MGK Day. How do you work with such big organizations? That's important. We got to share that knowledge of how you can attract national brands as well as the larger organizations. So that is my next question. I will be a part of this answer. The question is, how do you approach and build relationships with larger organizations, funders, and institutions? And Deirdre, I want you to answer this one because this is for you. But also really, how do you do it to amplify your work? So what I have been doing the last, say, 10, 15 years really is, again, showing value like Brandon said, but giving them the puzzle pieces that they don't have, right? When it comes to playing in that sandbox and playing nice, you got to give them things that they don't necessarily have, right? Think about your own skill sets. Do they have those skills? If they do, they don't necessarily need you. You have to find a way to have a mutual partnership. In the case of, say, Ilthy, we have our own dedicated community. We have an audience that follows us and maybe doesn't follow them. They want that, right? In the case of Sora, they want the best sushi in the city. They want to use our venue, and in exchange, we can find ways to help them too, right? So by giving them those puzzle pieces to help them, that's how we have been successful using leverage to do that, right? So whatever business or project you have, ask yourself when you are looking for a partner or a collaborator, do I have the pieces that they're looking for? If so, this is gonna be a perfect fit, right? So to you guys, all of you, how do you pursue that when you look for those larger institutions or high profile opportunities? What is it that you do to score them?
Y'all look at me because I got the mic in my hand. Huh? All right, I'll get it started. You know, my career has been in arts and culture for about 15 years or so. I've worked in large institutions like the Cleveland Museum of Art and other arts institutions, University Circle, and you know, working at those organizations, you got a big brand behind you. So if I reach out to another organization or another artist or entity, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm calling from the Cleveland Museum of Art. It's, you know, locally at least, you know, you're gonna, that's gonna open the door. Just the name recognition, and you know, it's a matter of, I don't know. There's so many factors that go into it, and I don't want to ramble too much because I want to hear from my fellow co-panelists here. But thinking about what you bring to the table, you know, one way early in my career that I collaborated, I used to organize a monthly film series.
Brought up really great points. The one that I was thinking about, similar to trademarks, is setting up mutual expectations early. You know, I think in hip hop and entertainment, even in the design world, sometimes it's too flexible because of the creative world that they're like, oh yeah, you do this, I do this. It's all cool through DMs or in a meeting, but you need sometimes things on paper, you know, and nobody wants to do contracts. I get it, but you sometimes need them. You know, you want to know that you could trust this person, and there's no better way to do that through documentation. You know, even if it's a MOU, a memorandum of understanding, it's an email, you want that kind of information to understand what is it that we're doing together. Is this thing real or not? You know, and then if you have that foundation set up, you will be in a much better position because you can't get blindsided. I have had too many times experiences where, you know, we're friends or we're working together and it wasn't totally equal. I ended up having to do a lot more, and I kind of wish I treated it more like a business relationship. If I did that, it wouldn't have hurt me or my team, you know, and I have had a lot of scars from that, you know, especially in my early years, my early 20s. I'm now almost 40, so showing my age. But, you know, I think that's really important. You should never shy away from that. If someone can't give you some sort of simple agreement of what you're doing together, that's already a red flag, you know? This isn't dating, this is business. So it's no harm in having some simple agreement. Guess what? ChatGPT these days can just pump one out for you. That holds up enough to say these are the terms of how we team up, you know? Never go into something that you feel that it's, you know, a yellow flag, not necessarily a red flag, because it probably is a red flag at that point. So I'm very intentional with who I work with. I want them to know, you know, what are we paying you? What are the terms? What are the time? What's the partnership? If you know that ahead of time, you can share that. That shows trust and faith, you know? And with that being said, that's kind of my next question. You know, partnerships, collaborations, teaming up is fun, it's exciting, it's new, but you also want to think about like your wish list or who, you know, your dream of who you can work with, and that's always fun. And I like to hear that from everyone. Obviously, we've got so many different people between podcasting and nonprofit and art, but what are your guys' wish list? Who are you looking to team up with? And I'll name mine too.
I think, so my last.
Why am I still doing this? But it's moments like that, it's people who watch or people who see your tattoo like, man, that's dope. Who did that? And they tell, and you hear, oh, who told you? Past client or whatnot. So keep going, man. Yeah, and then, you know, it's up, down, but those ups or those times where it's hot, they'll be there.
Anyone else?
I'm a firm believer in we give a lot of people grace, but don't give it to ourselves.
That's good.
So make sure you're giving yourself some grace and make sure you're taking some you time. Don't burn out. Burnout happens real quick, and then you look up and it's been 10 years and you looking 50 years older, but make sure you give yourself some grace. We give it to everybody else.
That's good.
Yeah, I got one. You got to find what fills your cup.
Ooh.
Easy, right? For me, I feel like I have to have a really big battery in the morning, personally, to help my colleagues, employees, make sure my business is okay, make sure my wife is okay. I have to make sure I am prepared every morning for the drain that's about to come. So what fills my battery, what fills my cup through the day is what keeps me going, right? It doesn't even have to be a business thing. It could be something as simple as walking your dog. Does that give you 5% more? That goes a long way, right? So you got to ask yourself, what are those like 5 things that fill my cup, and how do I make sure I hit those things? You know, find people who give you energy back than to take it away, because you said something about that. So for me, it's just find what fills your cup, work towards that, and make sure you allocate at least an hour, 2 hours to do that. For some people, it could be something as simple as, you know, sitting on your phone and just looking at Instagram, seeing your friends, watching Netflix. It sounds weird, but there are benefits to giving something back to yourself at the end of the day, you know? And those are the things that I have to do to make sure that I don't deplete. That way I can be ready for the next day too.
Actually, segue to the question I want to ask.
Oh, you was right up here.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you. My name Ashley B. Please don't forget to be. I would add to your question. Even though I like sharing, I would say I get real nervous innately. So do it scared. Like this, she's scared. Like in my head, I'll be trying to figure out how I'm gonna say it. I'm scared. I'm figure out what I'm about to supposed to say. But anyway, so I love that y'all having this. I've watched all 3 of y'all. You got a dope podcast. I watch you with your book and with you. Very inspiring to say the least. I see you. I would like to get to know more about you as having a daughter that's a dope artist. But my question is, because I work with children, my organization, Ashley B. Childhood Advocate, and I would say I want to ask you just to share at least one organization or business that you really like, you would like to shout out, or you feel like it's very reputable. Because when I'm working with children, I have a superpower where I can see people's strengths, but a lot of times when I come around them, you know, sometimes the Coke don't be Coke, it really be baking powder. You know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all catching my drift or y'all following through what I'm saying, but what is an organization ideally for youth to help young entrepreneurs or creators that you would like to share that I could perhaps introduce them to? Because again, a lot of times when we meet people, they don't be who they say they are. And I don't want to expose them to people that they really can't gain nothing from, ideally, if that makes sense. That makes sense?
Right now, the hottest organization on the block doing that is Jason Lockett with Breadwinners Academy.
Come on, Jason. Yeah.
Hottest one on the block right now. Full program, full curriculum, just amazing program.
Right.
And he is in these streets. He is not playing. He all about those kids, and the program works.
And say the name again, Jason.
His name is Jason Lockett. The name of the program is Breadwinners Academy.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any?
I got a couple.
On to what you were saying about how you like. What you say again?
Just
Nobody else?
I got one if you don't.
being motivated.
Oh yeah, motivated because I did a rebrand. I used to make music and I fell out of love with it. And I had a thing. I did my homework, like you said, go on Instagram. So I went on Instagram and looked around to see what people was not doing here, and I took advantage of it. I picked up a VHS camera. Nobody was doing it here, and I'm flourishing with it. I just found something I love to do, and I attack it every day, no matter if I'm recording nature or people, and it worked out for me. I just had to find something I love, and find something that other people love too, and it worked out.
Having a competitive advantage in the market. To your question about organizations, the first one that comes to mind is Plan Studio and Assembly of Arts. I think there's a lot of resources that we don't necessarily know about that are there. For me as an entrepreneur, you know, I started in 2004, 2005, you know, on this journey. I was only 19. And at that time, there was no YouTube. Facebook wasn't what it was. I didn't have social media. I had no way of DMing anybody. The term entrepreneurship really wasn't a thing yet, you know, so I had nowhere to go. And especially when I got back to Cleveland after college, you couldn't just quickly find things in 2008, 2009. It was hard. So, you know, people were operating in silos at the time. But I think now resources, education, workshops exist, especially if you start to just look for them online. You know, if you search art grants Cleveland, Ohio, you will likely find the right places pretty quickly. And luckily enough, because of the amount of events that happen, it's easy to find the person that you need to talk to and at least get to know them. I couldn't do that. I had to like brute force my way into some of those, or just walk into venues and act like I know what I'm talking about, you know, wear a suit at like 20 years old. But that world is so different now. You know, they're in the room, they're around, and it's easier to network now more than ever. So those are two that I would recommend. Futureland is actually another one. Nikki's here, our executive director. Futureland puts on tons of events. I think we've done 80 events in the last 12 months for perspective. So that's a lot of places for tech, arts, entrepreneurship. Our whole mission is to create those kind of synapses to get us all together to really find out about innovation and build together from a business perspective. So Futureland is a great resource. What's our next event we're doing? What's next up? Yeah, part of these are part of Futureland too, but
September 4th at Cohatch in Ohio City.
there you go. And then we're also doing an AI summit November 20th that just got greenlit yesterday. That hasn't been announced yet. You guys are the first to know. We'll make sure you guys get access, free tickets. But let's learn about AI. Let's embrace competition and show the other cities what we're made of, right? So I encourage you to tell people about what Futureland's doing. A lot of the events largely are, 95% of them are free. So that's just a great resource. It's been around for now 3 years.
And you said Cohatch September 2nd and
September 4th,
Fourth.
at Cohatch in Ohio City.
We're gonna tap you in, Ashley.
okay, all right.
Yeah. And I think we have one more question. We have one more.
And we'll be around after, so we're not gonna run away. Don't worry.
Well, I'm a clean rap artist, motivational speaker, I'm a life coach and influencer. But I meditate to get peace. So when the chaos going on, I'm out doing my thing. When I get home, I read out. When I wake up in the morning after I work out, I meditate. So my question is to y'all, like, what do y'all do to bring peace to yourself amidst all the chaos of hard work?
I don't know. So I know for me, this kind of sounds silly, but it's real. I go home, I go to the room, and I put on stand-up comedy. Laughter is my thing. After a hard day or a long day or just a strenuous day, it's like I need to laugh. And we each laugh. It's like a rushing waterfall of just joy. So I know that works for me.
I appreciate that.
So mine is kind of funny for real. I coupon.
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
So if I'm stressed, you'll see me in your local Walgreens.
That's good.
What I'm saying,
Making them bleed.
I will take the Walgreens up top. I definitely will.
All right, satisfaction and savings. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
For me, I'm a huge, I love to ride a bike. I love cycling. I love to move my body. I love to be outside. I love to soak in the sun. I love to build up my endorphins. I like to ride slow. I like to ride fast. It's meditative. It's one of my favorite ways to see and experience the city is bike and see our neighborhoods. So that's my release. And I love to do it with other people, in community with other folks. I organize a lot of bike rides in my free time. So follow me on Instagram. I'm in the ride this Saturday to some art galleries and stuff. So anyway, that's my outlet. Art and bikes and music.
For me, when it comes to a different form of meditation, I feel like artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, we are like cursed. We're constantly thinking about making something, building something, supporting someone. It's like sometimes I wonder at night at like 2 a.m, I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why do I need to start the next business? Can I just be happy with what I have? It's a curse I live with, to some degree that I want to keep. And I think that's part of human nature, that we just constantly are looking for the next high, the next chase, My dog stops that from happening. He's gonna be 9 in like a week, but he's like still a puppy, which is bizarre. He is like, runs around like crazy, spins around, he's the cutest little thing, but when I'm with Toby, I don't think about business, I don't think about my employees, sorry guys. I don't think about the pressures of the world because they don't have the same pressures. They get to live a life of just pure joy when they see me. And my only priorities are feed you, walk you, and play with you. And like, I don't think about anything else. And that could go on for an hour or two. That is another form of that reset, filling your cup for me is my Toby. And that is what I do. And I try to do that every day, if not multiple times throughout the day. I even take off on Wednesdays to work from home. That way I have a little bit of a break in the week, which is a really cool hack in life if you just work Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. But I spend my day with Toby because of that, you know, so I'm on calls and he's on the calls with me. But that is my way of resetting. Something so simple in life, right? The greatest pleasures of life sometimes are in the most simplest forms. You don't need a fancy trip to Thailand. You don't need a luxury car. You just need a dog like Toby.
That's what's up.
Or go couponing. Yeah. Look at that. Biking, couponing, and dogs. It's the simple things can create that form of
I get a little
meditation.
PlayStation in.
Yeah, you don't see monks like, you know, driving Lambos. That doesn't solve anything.
Thanks.
So thank you guys for making the time. I'm sure there's still some food left over. Appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys September 4th. Please stick around. We'll be here to network. We've got a party with Ilti outside. And then obviously if you guys want to stay for dinner, apps on me. Just tell them.